my name is Ryan Cam, and welcome back to the Horror Movie Iceberg podcast, where myself and Russell Howe will watch disturbing horror movies until we tap out. And the movie we're talking about this time, Russell, is disturbing, but for the reasons of that the movie's just bad. like for context, we are wrapping up our coverage of the Wreck series. We've covered 1 through 3, and now we are at the final one, Wreck 4 Armageddon. And this thing was pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, it is the longest runtime out of all 4 films. Just so boring. Not a lot happening. It's a pain to get through. An unnecessary follow-up. I guess this would be a direct sequel to 2. It's just not good.
Well, let's rip the Band-Aid off and get this over with, and let's put the Wreck series to bed. But if you like the video, leave a like and subscribe. If you're listening on Spotify, we'd appreciate some stars. That would be greatly appreciated. But let's get into Wreck 4 Apocalypse.
Wreck 4 Apocalypse.
This was directed by, and I'm going to try and get the name right, Wami Balaguero. I came as close as I think I'm going to get. It was released in late 2014 and then straight to VOD in 2015. Or no, wait, just 2015. I don't know where I pulled 2014 from. But it, like you mentioned, Russell, this picks up kind of as a sequel to 2 and ignores 3. It follows the reporter from the first Wreck movie who has been infected by this zombie virus, and she ends up on a ship. And she has to figure out what is going on and why and everything involving the doctor, and an outbreak happens on the ship, and it's a lot. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah, definitely a lot to unpack. You have infected monkeys all of a sudden. And it's crazy because that one lady, the older lady that's like kind of rambling on about like a wedding, you kind of think back to the third one. I know it's completely unrelated, but you're thinking wedding. You're like, oh yeah, the third one, there was a wedding, you know? Completely, yeah, obviously not, yeah. But
like I brought up to you before we started, Wreck 3 was different. It started out found footage, but then it kind of blew that up and then just told a different story. And I liked the spirit of that, and I thought the ending to that was great. I just feel like with this one is like, okay, first of all, how is this reporter even still alive? Yeah. Like, we saw her get dragged away by that creature at the end. So, like, how is she still alive? It's just so many questions.
Yeah, then on top of it, you know that there was that scene where the bug or whatever goes in, drops into her mouth, and she's obviously infected. And then now you see that where they're screening people and stuff like that, and all of a sudden she's not infected. You're like, well, what the heck's going on? Obviously, later on you see why, but it's like, dude, like why? Well, like, why are we doing this? Like, when was the transfer of the bug into the other person? Obviously, that it's not her. You find out it's the other person that has it. It's like, wow, it's just, just so bad.
There was no consistency. There needed to be a real shit or get off the pot kind of thing, where it's like she's either infected or she's not. Or she gets infected at the end, like most zombie movies of this sort of thing, or she just doesn't and she survives. So it's just, they couldn't even figure out whether or not to infect the main character or not. That's the problem.
The main thing, kind of like you obviously had messaged me, like you're like, oh, they brought back the chick from the first one. Like, it's that wow factor. Let's bring her back. You know what I mean? Let's get excited about it. It's so different. Like, it's a different, obviously, environment. Now you're on a boat. You're in the middle of nowhere. But it's just like, nothing's explained. You don't really know much about what's going on or like what happens. You just kind of like go with the flow of things. Nothing really makes sense. There's really if this movie's not needed, just not good.
What makes this equally frustrating for me anyway is that I feel like there was a lot you could do with this. If the George A. Romero of the Dead movies have proven anything, like Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, and Day of the Dead specifically, is that if you do it in an isolated location like a mall or a cemetery or an underground bunker, you can do something with that. I feel
Yeah.
like you have it on this ship. I'm like, okay, we're getting somewhere with this, like Last Voyage of the Demeter kind of thing, except vampires there, zombies here. And I feel
Yeah.
like there's a lot of money left on the table with that one.
Well, that and the fact that they don't really explain anything. Everything just happens and you're just supposed to accept it at face value. I think that's the hardest part to kind of swallow with it. There's really nothing, there's no explanations. Like there's nothing, kind of what I said about like when obviously she's infected. Obviously, we know this. And like I said, that when they were testing people in the film, this fourth film, she doesn't get, she's like test negative or whatever. You're like, well, wait a minute, why? Like she's clearly infected, but there's no reason, there's no explanation of what had happened, what had transpired to make her go negative. You're like, is she immune to this? Like, it's like what is happening? Then obviously you find out near the end of why the fact that she tested negative because she doesn't have the bug in her. But again, it's just, there's just no there's just no explanation for it. There's no reason. You know what I mean? It's just this is what we have to accept. I just feel like we could have made a really tight, like you said, Voyage of the what was it? The Demeter. Demeter. Yeah, I thought it was a really fine film. I really enjoyed that film. Very very closed in environment, very tight. You're on the boat. It's a very tight, atmosphere, This one it could have done that, but it just doesn't because it fails to explain things. They just take some turns, man. It's just like for all the wrong reasons. They want to wow you with the factor to they bring the main girl back from the first one, the reporter from the first film. That's supposed to be the wow factor, but yeah, she's in it a lot, but just for what reason? You know what I mean? It's kind of silly.
Yeah, and I stress again, at the ending of the first wreck, we see this poor girl get dragged away seemingly to her death.
Yeah.
And so so it's just like, why retcon that? Like, what happened to that creature that we saw at the end? Did it get killed? Did the SWAT team kill it? I was trying to think back on Wreck 2, and I don't think it's ever even addressed. Like Wreck 2, it was like the SWAT team trying to figure out what the scientist was up to, the scientist being in on it, kinda. And there's no consistency with the zombie stuff either. It's like in Wreck 2, there was the whole you can they're demonic, and so if you have a cross, you can defend yourself. Here, that's not even addressed to the best of my knowledge, and so it feels like Mad Libs of this person enters this scenario here, and then this person attacks him here. The Wreck movies have no strict continuity except for 1 and 2. I'm aware of that. Wreck 3 pretty much kills it and starts over. But then you go back to what Wreck 1 and 2 started, and you feel like you're missing something. That's the big problem here.
Yeah, for sure. Then the other thing is there's a scene where obviously they're worried about eating food. They're worried about it transmitting through food. Since when was this a thing? You know what I mean?
It was never addressed. It literally... No. The first wreck was pretty well contained in that this reporter was doing a newscast, and then this stuff just so happened to happen around her. None of the lore was ever introduced or addressed. I feel like they say oh, that's a scapegoat. We can just say well, it is never explained, and they never really bothered to explain it, to your point.
Yeah, I mean, all of a sudden now, what we have to worry about what we're eating. That was never mentioned in any of the 3 films. And then all of a sudden we're infecting animals. When was that a thing? When did that happen? I mean, it's completely crazy. There's a lot of hard left turns for this film. At the end of the day, you're wondering why even try to pick up after 2 if we're really not doing anything to really build onto the story. You know what I mean? I just think we really sink the ship, no pun intended here. We just really sink it here.
This movie is definitely the Jaws the Revenge of this series in that Like there could be some potential there, but just stupidity and just awful decisions just killed any enjoyment that there might have had there. This movie's horrid. It's like it's not good. Like,
No.
and the movie pretty much just like what started off as like with the first Wreck, like just and with Wreck 3, two very solid movies. It's like the Star Trek syndrome, but reversed. It's like the
Yeah.
odds are bad, or no wait, the odds are good and the evens are bad. In Star
Yeah.
Trek, it's the other way around.
Or like the Bonds where the odds are really good and the evens are not good. You know?
That's a good point too. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
So
like, yeah.
this seems like it's going to be very short, and it is. But I mean, I don't think we can put like say this doesn't make sense. Like there's only so many creative ways you can say that because that's the big linchpin of why this movie just doesn't work.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, if you've obviously caught us up to here, so you've seen the first three films. You know, 1 and 3 are probably the strongest of the three, or of the four, I should say. Then you have the fourth one where you have a great, you have a great chance to like really tell something with bringing back the reporter from the first film. But you really don't even explain why. You don't really, anything that you think from the first three films that you've watched going into this one, you don't know because there's like all of a sudden, like I said earlier, you can get it through food. Wild monkeys all of a sudden are infected with this virus. Like it's like, well, what the hell has happened? Like I don't understand what is going on. Yeah, this movie is just very forgettable. It's easily the worst of the four. It's just so bad. It's the longest one of the four. Very boring. It drags. Just not good.
One last thing before we close it out officially. One last thing is that like as soon as I saw the infected monkeys, I'm like 28 days later would like to have a word with you because
or even Outbreak. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Outbreak.
Yeah.
That's good as well.
Yeah.
But like as soon as I saw that, I'm like Danny Boyle needs to like say something just to be
Yeah.
like, hey, like that was my idea first.
Yeah.
But,
It's just not good.
Well, what did you think of Rec 4 if you've seen it? Let us know in the comments. We would love to read what you have to say. I'm knocking on wood, Russell, that Quarantine is better than this. From the reviews I've seen, it's good, but here's to hoping. But
well, we don't have to worry about crazy subtitles because we can understand it's English, so we're good.
Yes. Where can the people find you?
Yeah, Notorious by Chance is the podcast that we do. Chance and I just recorded Napoleon Dynamite. That is episode 199. We have number 200 coming up, a big milestone for the Notorious by Chance podcast. We've been at it for so long. So to hit at 200 is just very, very humbling. I don't know what we're doing yet. I think we're throwing up some ideas for either a poll or we're just going to put something up. I don't know yet, but like I said, Napoleon Dynamite will be released sometime this week. We did record it yesterday. You guys can also find us Notorious by Chance on YouTube. Football season's upon us, so Chance does left side, strong side with a couple other people, and they just had an episode about predictions for the upcoming NFL season, so check that one out. And you guys can find us at NBC Podcast on X and on TikTok.
All the links will be down below. Go give them a subscribe over there. As far as this channel goes, next Friday we will be back to the 1960s. And when I find the list, I will be able to tell you what we are covering. So next up in the 60s, we'll be covering Ocean's 11. And no, not the George Clooney one. This is the original one with Frank Sinatra and friends. Like literally that's the movie. And then yet another hard left, we'll be covering Circus of Horrors, but that'll be next week. And like I alluded to, when we return to the horror movie Iceberg, we'll be diving into the Quarantine movies, all two of them, starting off with the American remake of Wreck that was known as Quarantine, directed by the director of the Poughkeepsie Tapes, John Eric Dowdle. And I've never seen it, so I'm looking forward to seeing that. But for Russell, my name is Ryan Cam. We will see you all in the next one. Y'all, thank you.